See if the internet's good enough to catch up with this shit. Yeah, well, look at that. Looks like we're live. And the stream health is good, which is funny because last couple times it hasn't been, so we'll see. Last time I tried to do this, the thing just kept crashing. Like 3-4 times. And people were patient hanging in there, but there was just no point. Just as well, because the stream was a little bit more political than I normally like. But I might as well add to that in case you did see that one, I was kind of upset about a specific friend who had said some shit that I thought was fucked up. And I saw him a few days later, and just seeing him was like, oh yeah, this is my friend. I like the dude, you know. It's like, from that standpoint, the internet isn't real, you know. It's just bullshit. So, yeah, goddamn, my hair looks all fucked up today. Let's see. All right, well, cool. So, yeah, I guess I'm just sort of dawdling for a minute to see if anyone comes in. I don't even care, though. I haven't posted a video in so long. This is going to be a video. So, first thing I want to talk about here is who killed Captain Alex. Because hopefully y'all are aware of this shit. Because it's so good. But I actually went and sent away for this a while back. I just got a case for it today, though, because they send it, like, in the envelope. But this is the greatest thing ever. And this whole movie is on YouTube. So you check it out. It has a video joker, which is sort of like if you listen to dub reggae and, like, there's a DJ who sort of chats over it. It's sort of like that, only with the movie. And it's unaccustomed, I'd say, for an audience not used to it. But once you get into it, man, it's fucking fantastic. And it's funny because, like, he's subtitled even though he's speaking English. And then, like, the guys are speaking presumably Swahili in the movie. They're subtitled too, but, like, with different subtitles. So it's kind of funny. God, my hair looks like shit. Oh, whatever. It looks like shit all the time anyway, now that I'm all fucking bald. Anyway, so big fan of Captain Alex, right? You might have seen me wearing the Wakaliwood shirts anyway in the videos, but I pre-ordered and just received in the mail fucking Bad Black, which is the new one. Thumbfinger, man. Hey, welcome, dude. Good to see you, man. Look at that shit, and it's signed. Now, the other one came with all these posters and shit like that, right? But I just wanted to see, so this was $10, right? Okay, now it didn't come with the case, right? I had to get the case separately to stick it in there. And by the way, look at this DVD. Seal of quality right there. And it comes with a little disclaimer like saying, hey, the video starts right away because in Uganda, most people have either lost or broken their remotes, so it's just easier if there's no menu and it just goes right into the movie, so. Yeah, so anyway, so I'm going to cover up my address, but as you can see, it was addressed to me as Commando. Oh, shit, what am I doing? That has a Wakaliwood stamp at the bottom there. Dodge sticker on the back. Man, look at this shit. And then just look at all this other shit. Okay, so it's a DVD, right? Then along with that, I got like this handwritten note. Look at that. Thank you, Super. My name, you the best. And this fucking picture that's like handwritten too. Look at that. It's also like addressed to me. Just fucking fantastic, man. It's like, it's really satisfying to get shit from these guys because it just like sort of cranks up the authenticity of the whole thing, you know? It's like, on the one hand, I wish these dudes the best, you know, because clearly they don't have a fuckload of money. But on the other hand, there's a certain point beyond which it won't be cool anymore, you know? That's little things saying about how there's no menu on the DVD. A couple stickers. A Wakaliwood. There's even some fucking buttons in here, man. It's nuts. Just throw all the shit in here. Like I said, with Captain Alex from Meatwad, welcome, man. Good to see you. With Captain Alex, they sent a bunch of posters, which are up in Spencer's room, but they are signed, and I swear they're signed by everyone. Like, the whole crew is like, they're like 30, 40 signatures on these fucking posters. No joke, you know? So, yeah, I got these fucking pins with it, too, which are great. I don't know if you can see this because I don't have a whole lot of light here, but yeah, there's a helicopter, like the Wakaliwood thing, and that one's Who Killed Captain Alex. And then this other one's my favorite, because that's the Russian mercenary from the first one, if you remember him. I hope you've all actually seen Who Killed Captain Alex. Okay, so yeah, that's the Russian mercenary. So yeah, man, I'm all kind of high on the shit. I haven't even watched Bad Black yet because my DVD player like is in the other room and isn't really set up. But it's gonna get watched and enjoyed and savored. All right, so what else are we gonna talk about? This is what we're listening to. Taiki Sarmanto, and it is Flowers in the Water. It's a reissue of a record. It's 50th anniversary, man. It's from 1969. And as Finnish jazz goes, I guess this is relatively early. I mean, there was jazz prior to this in Finland. But this is kind of when it was starting to really come into its own, you know? I'm trying to see who else is on here. Art Farmer has a little blurb. I don't think he actually plays, though. Heikki Sarmanto, Juhani Aaltonen, Esa Pethman, Teppo Hauta'aho, Matti Koskiala, and Bertil Löfgren. I actually know who like 2/3 of those guys are, more or less. It's not like I'm a fucking expert or anything like that. So anyway, man, it's a really good record. I just got it recently. It's a new reissue. Really happy it turned up. So what else is new? What do you want to talk about? Got a couple more records here. You know, I was forgetting something though. I kind of like doing this with the light off better than when I had it on. I hope y'all can see okay, but... Alright, there we go. Goddamn. So this is one I got turned on to by Tom FXP. He hyped this in... I want to say it was a recent video, but I actually went back and watched a few of his older videos too, so it might have actually been an older video, but I think it was a recent one, because apparently a few of these turned up. This is actually an original pressing of this, and it wasn't particularly expensive. Piper of Dreams by Carlo Vinci Jr. And it's very mellow. Kind of more Tom's taste a little bit than mine, but it's a really nice record. You know what I mean? It's it just has some interesting sound colors and that sort of thing, and it just sort of floats right through, right along, and it's just a really enjoyable listen. So yeah, if you can grab one of these, Piper of Dreams by Carlo Vinci Jr. And it is it's a 78, 79. I want to say a thing actually got made in 1980, but maybe it was 79. In any case, they didn't make a whole shit ton of them, but they sold even fewer, so there's some left. And there we go. Yeah, it's more or less jazz. It kind of leans a little bit towards the new age, but I'll tell you, here's what it leans towards the new age in a way that, like, I think new age sounds like, unless I actually go and listen to real new age and I fucking hate it, and then I go, okay, by that standard, this is not new age. So It's definitely mellow. I mean, there are parts of it that are a little more sort of up tempo, right? But there's nothing as happening as this right now. Okay, the whole thing's kind of like floatier and dreamier, but in a really nice way, and a really listenable way. So right on, and thanks for joining, Joel and John. All right, check this out. I was stoked to find this one. I actually found this one in the wild. This is a brand new reissue by Tony Newton. God, I'm having trouble showing these with the glare. It's just as bad. All right, we're going to try one more thing. Hang on. All right, how's this? Still glaring? It's probably the best it's been. All right, so first of all, look at that guy. Hey, Eric, right on, man. Thanks for joining. I was hoping I'd see you. So first of all, look at that guy. What do you think he's thinking about? I think you're right. So, and the record is called, what's it called? Mysticism and Romance. Now, this thing kind of had a little bit more by way of disco moves than I was kind of hoping. That said, it's a pretty cool funk record. It has a lot more vocals than I expected to. I was expecting more of a jazz record. It's gonna get filed in the funk, okay? It's a cool record. It's not tremendous. There's one particular song where I was actually listening to it. My wife was in the living room with me, and she was like fucking hating it. She said because it sounds like backing vocals that are like in the foreground. I was like, that's actually kind of dead on for what this sounds like. So if you hate backing vocals categorically, this will give you an opportunity to reassess them because you get to hear them as lead vocals. So there you go, man. You can learn something new by hearing that one. I'm gonna show this one for Eric because this is like it's not really a soundtrack record, but it kind of should be. There's like one of those old like sound library records. This is an Italian one. The guy's name is Gerardo Iacucci. You can see that shit there. And yeah, it's funny, man. It's like this would be industrial if there had been such a thing in 1972. It's like a lot of it kind of sounds like beating on metal and shit like that, and sort of heavy machinery. But it's really kind of realized with real instruments in a way that's really interesting. I mean, sure, a lot of it's electronic in that, right? But it sort of gives that vibe while still like retaining this underlying musicality. Yeah, I think I did post this not too long ago, actually. I haven't been very active on there though either. So yeah, in any case, man, this is a really unusual record. And it's fantastic. In fact, I might put it on next after this thing. We'll leave it aside there. Yeah, totally, man. You should. All right, so everyone watching, does anyone give a shit about jazz? Because maybe I'll pull something else out. Oh, there's just like this little fucking Facebook forum, Sir Meatwad, and I haven't been on there because I've been just done with. I've been sick of Facebook. I just haven't felt. Actually, you know what's going on? My kid's going away to school soon, and I've kind of been not wanting to spend the extra time making videos. Right now, he's in bed anyway, but that's kind of been consuming me a little bit. So I haven't been like sitting here depressed or anything like that, but I don't want to like, nah, it's just the way it is. So, having a cup of tea at 12:30 because I need the caffeine. All right, let's see what else I have here. Just in case anyone's interested, anyone who watched the one about jazz books. Yeah, thanks, Eric. That's exactly what I'm doing. Those prioritizing the family, Um, and it's not like I spend so much time doing the shit. I mean, I'm not one of these guys who like edits my videos and does different takes and like all the elaborate shit that some people do. I kind of just like let it rip. But even so, I have to like spend time thinking about it. Even though I'm always listening to music, man. I mean, I probably put away like 50 records the other day that I've been listening to that I kind of left out because I was like, oh, I should make a video. And I was like, man, I haven't been making videos. What's the point? But The music's playing. I just haven't prioritized making a video about it. Anyway, this is a record that I actually came across shortly after I made the last one about the jazz books. And this is by a guy who wrote two of the ones that I showed, Eckhard Yost, his quintet. And this record's like mid 80s. I think it's 84, which is very late for a jazz record for me. Yeah, 84. And he's a saxophonist. I'd sort of heard that he played, but I didn't really know anything, you know. But there we go. So it's an interesting record. It's his thing is free jazz. I mean, obviously he wrote like a couple books on it, right? But this isn't like, just fucking balls out crazy ass shit. You know what I mean? It has a little bit of a modal vibe, although I wouldn't call it modal. It's definitely free as far as the execution but it's a little bit more sort of restrained than some of the stuff that's just totally chaotic and that. So I don't know if that really tells you anything about it at all, but it's an interesting record, and it's still because I'm still digesting it. I don't think it's ever going to be my favorite record of all time, but it's interesting, and I kind of dig it for what it is, sort of as a historical piece, All right, this is a really nice one. This is another recent reissue too, so I should hit y'all to this one. This is Bamboo, and this is another one that you might hate if you're into like if you don't like the mellower shit. But this is by God, what's the fucking guy's name? It's Japanese, man. I have trouble with the Japanese names. Minoru Murakura or Muraoka. Minoru Muraoka. There we go. Yeah, that's right. Bamboo on the cover. And the guy plays a bamboo flute. And a lot of the songs are covers, which is common in jazz. And I forget that. But a lot of these are kind of obvious. Like the first one's Take 5, which is already weird to hear. But when you hear Take 5 with an electric keyboard and the lead instrument, instead of being John Desmond's saxophone, is a fucking bamboo flute, it's exactly the same song. They don't really take any huge liberties as far as the actual like execution of like the song goes, but the instrumentation just makes it sound so different. It's really unusual. So what else? There's one called Soul. Goddamn, man, I don't remember this katakana. Scarborough Fair is on here. Oh, and I love her. Forgot that's on here. Yeah, I'm being all fucking slow because I'm trying to read the katakana here, and I suck at it, so you have to forgive me on that. But anyway, it's very cool. The names are probably in English in the gatefold. Yeah. House of the Rising Sun, Take 5, and I Love Her. Soul Bamboo, Call Me, but not the fucking Blondie one. Yeah, it's funny. The names are all kind of fucked up. Oh, yeah, Do You Know the Way to San Jose? So anyway, yeah, it's just a nice record, man. It's really enjoyable. So much so, it's a good middle of the night record too. In fact, I'd put it on right now, but I'm going to put on the other one first. The one that says like industrial, only it's not, because it really isn't. But I'll show it again in a sec then too. All right. You can tell I'm like low energy because when I'm all up, I'm usually like chattering and shit while I'm putting on the records, but not so much right now. All right, check this shit out. It's fucking really good, man. I don't know if you can't hear it through the thing too. Do I know any albums similar to Werewolf by the Fourth Way? I don't think so. I don't think I even know the Fourth Way. Who is that? Should I know them? There you go. One thing I personally like is the songs on side A. It's Fabrica, number 1 through 6, and side 2 is Impianti Meccanici or Meccanici, number 1 through 6. And I don't know what that means, but it's something about a factory and something about the Fourth Way, huh? It rings a faint bell, man. I want to look this shit up. My phone's sitting right there. I'm tempted to look at it. But you know something? I hate it when the dudes do it on Grown Men Record Night. So, in fact, a couple weeks ago, man, it's a little dickish for me to say this, but Steve Fever's like looking at his phone and shit on Grown Man Record Night. So I started like texting him to fuck with him. I was just like, texting him like pictures of this roach that was running around here. Because we get those big palmetto bugs that don't infest, but they're kind of gross because they're still fucking like really big cockroaches. So yeah, I was like, dude, this fucking guy's eluding death. You know, it's kind of stupid. All right, now I really want to know the cover though. I'm gonna fucking do it. Werewolf by Fourth Way. I could really do it on my thing too, but you know something that would just be not nice, you know. So you want to know my currently open windows are right now? This is where my head's been at. Something about Baptists generally. So I've been reading about Baptists. Something about primitive Baptists, which is a specific denomination which I hadn't heard of before. But dude who's a friend of mine here, I know at work, but he grew up primitive Baptist, and I was like, shit, I never even heard of that before. So, oh, Jesus Christ, I've totally seen this. You're right, dude. And you know something? Yeah, I gotta fucking get my hands on a copy of this just because of the cover. Yeah, no, I don't know this though, so I can't speak to it. But I do recognize the cover. You're right, Joel. See, it challenged me like that. I have to check, but I remember seeing that a while ago, man. Thinking, God, that looks cool, and then I couldn't find it for some reason, or I probably forgot about it, man, because I kind of do that sometimes. So, oh yeah, sort my other windows. There's the fucking Baptist, the primitive Baptists. Then manual for Blaster Master on the Nintendo because I was playing that before and I didn't know like all like what's in the menus and shit. And then a list of Quentin Tarantino's top 20 favorite spaghetti westerns because that's kind of what I've been doing lately. Is I've been listening to records and watching Italian westerns. They're a bunch on Amazon Prime. So I've been watching those with the sound turned down pretty low and the subtitles on while I listen to music like this. That's fucking awesome, man, because these movies are great, you know? But so are records. So this way I don't have to choose. I have not watched The Great Silence yet. I went looking for that one. That fucking thing isn't in there, I don't think. That's high on the list here, too. I watched recently, all right, one of my personal favorites was Django Kill, If You Live, Shoot, which in addition to having one of the greatest titles ever, is one of the gayest westerns I've ever seen. Maybe the gayest. I watched Django Prepare a Coffin. Yeah, it was fucking fantastic, man. It was so good. I mean, it's a knockoff of that original Django. Kioma is in my queue. I haven't watched that one yet. If I'm saying that even right, even I don't even fucking know. Let's see. I know I saw Bullet for the General a long time ago. That was a really good one. Oh, Massacre Time, the Lucio Fulci one. I just watched that a few days ago. Yeah, I have such a shitty memory for this shit, man. I can't even remember the titles of what I've seen. Oh well. Yeah, Bullet for the General. I like. I was thinking I should watch that again because I barely remember it. You know. So if you have any other favorites, man, throw them out there. Oh, Duck You Sucker, I've seen. That's great. First rate, man. But that's Sergio Leone. Any of his I've pretty much seen. But any that I'm aware of. So that one, Fistful of Dynamite, and obviously the big ones. Um, yeah, Duck You Sucker. That's fucking great, man. Um, God damn, man, I'm spacing. I kind of want to cheat now. Yeah, see, I had him on the fucking TV here. I don't know if it'll tell me what I watched on this thing, though. Probably not, because that'd be too easy. But yeah, anyway, I haven't actually watched any with Klaus Kinski yet. It's funny, I've been going by the titles, because Klaus Kinski I'm going to gravitate towards, right? I mean, it's fucking Klaus Kinski. But, okay, Death Rides a Horse I need to check out. Earlier today I started 7 on Red, or $7 on the Red. Um, I don't know. Will this tell me what I recently watched? I don't think it will. Oh, fuck. Yeah, let's see. There's a Sartana one that I watched. What the fuck was it called? Oh, Requiescant. I just watched that one. That was really good, too. I guess it's also known as Kill and Pray or something like that. So, El Topo I saw a long time ago. I actually have a friend's DVD of El Topo sitting over there. I need to watch that one of these days, too. I remember having my mind kind of blown away by that, but I saw it like back in the 90s and I was high and fucking, I don't remember it now, you know? I remember it was fucked up. That's all I remember. That's funny. Il Grande Silencio, we were just talking about. I haven't seen that one yet, though. I haven't come across it, actually. I need to find it on some streaming service or another, so. And thanks for joining, Room Org, by the way. Appreciate it. All right. So what else is new? Got a couple other records here. All right, so does anyone give a shit about jazz, or should I pull out some metal ones? Faccia. What's that? Face to Face? I have no idea what that's called or what to look for. Oh, okay, there we go. It's my Italian there, right? Yeah, I've never heard of that one. I don't think. 1967. Oh wow, Blu-ray release of The Great Silence. Seems like a lot's been getting Blu-ray releases though, so I'm not too shocked. It's almost like with the DVDs a few years ago, you know. I've probably talked about this before, but when I was living in LA, my local video shop was in the process of switching over to DVD from VHS, and they were selling off all the VHS, like just blowing it out, you know. Because it was a small shop, they had a ton of shit, but it was a small like physical space. They just couldn't like stock shit on DVD and VHS. So but they weren't getting rid of any VHS though, where they couldn't get it replace it with a DVD. So like if you would look at the VHS, it was all just like the craziest, like most off the wall fucking shit. Because anything that was even like medium tier, they had on DVD beyond a certain point, you know. So yeah, I kind of wish I could go through their VHS now, but it's been too long. Obviously, it's fucking almost 20 years now. All right, so here's another cool electronic one that I listen to, man. If anyone else gives a shit about electronic records like I do, this is Bruce Ditmas, I guess. The album's called Yellow Dust, and it's sort of a comp, I guess. I really don't know much about the guy. He actually, you know what it is? I saw this. Bruce Ditmas plays the Moog drum. Perhaps that's all you need to know. It was all I needed to know. I've been a little bit hung up actually on jazz with electronic music, with electronic instruments and shit like that in it. Yeah, there's another one sitting over here that I played before. Yeah, I didn't have this one pulled out because I don't really have anything particularly intelligent to say about it yet. But this is another one which is like fundamentally it's like a sax player and an electronics player, and they just kind of make some sounds. You know what I mean? It's like a really weird take on the concept of jazz. I mean, it really kind of pushes the limit of what constitutes it. But I don't know if you can see that at all. There we go. That's probably better. But yeah, it's interesting. It's really cool. I mean, I really like this record. It's probably not for everyone, but if you like electronic shit like I do, man, there's just so much, dude. You can just fucking keep going and going with this shit, with any of it, you know. Yeah, here's another Finnish one actually. Oli Avenlahti. Yeah, this guy's kind of a cornball, but I really like this shit. I was playing one of these records. It wasn't this one; it was his first one. But I was playing it like one morning, like when I had a conference call at work, and I was at home, and I knew everyone on the phone. But someone said it sounded like The Price is Right, and I was like, "Yeah, shit, it actually kind of does." But I really dig it. Maybe I'm just getting old, man. So, Bill Laswell and Peter Brotzman, I don't know, but that probably would have been interesting. Um, yeah, especially if it was a tape. I do like Throbbing Gristle. Um, they're not my favorite of their ilk, and I really kind of just got into like that sort of industrial shit last year. So it's funny you should ask me that. I have two records. I have the second edition, the one with the white cover, and then I have the one that's like 20 jazz classics or something like that. And the jazz one I like a lot more than the other one. I send away for most of these, by the way, Joel. I just kind of have to look for them. If you want sources, like hit me up privately or something. Although only 8 people on right now. I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm kind of a dick in that there's sort of like new collectors. I don't want to like give up all my best sources on the videos. I don't mind giving them. If you're watching this, I'm happy to share this shit with you. But if some bozo can come along like months after the fact and go, oh shit, let me go like I kind of resent that a little bit. So it's maybe shitty. Anyway, so Throbbing Gristle's cool. I like I mean, God, who would I compare to Throbbing Gristle? I mean, I like Swans more, although I don't know if that's really the same vibe at all. And like Skinny Puppy and shit like that just did more for me. The Throbbing Gristle stuff, and here's the thing with Throbbing Gristle is when I listened to that second record, I felt like if I hadn't already spent so much time listening to like records that are just like weird, like tape, like noise shit, that record would have really impressed me. But as it was, it kind of sounded a little bit ordinary. That might sound pretentious as hell, but just kind of the way it is. Like, a record that hasn't aged well for me either is the first Faust record. When I first discovered Faust, I loved them. I mean, that first record blew my mind, absolutely. When I listen to it now, it just sounds kind of tentative. I keep wanting to say like childish or like puerile or something like that, but that's just too like pejorative. Um, but it just sounds like they're just sort of starting out, like making that kind of music. And they're kind of throwing shit together, and they kind of have a vision, but they don't really know how to realize it. And that's charming and all that, but it's just not my. It doesn't impress me like it did when I was 19. That's all. I don't know Coil at all for shit. I mean, I've heard Coil, but God damn, I haven't heard Coil since, I don't know, the early 90s, maybe 1991. I mean, I don't even remember that shit. Something that I would compare favorably to the Throbbing Gristle was something like Soviet France, if we're going there, I mean, Soviet France is a lot more ambient, less sort of confrontational, right? But I just feel like it's shaped better, you know what I mean? It sort of tells a story in its own way better than the Throbbing Gristle, which just kind of sounds a little thrown together to me. So I probably talked about that for too long. So Suicide's awesome. Um, Yeah, I was on the hunt for a copy of that first one. In fact, when I first discovered eBay in the late '90s, one of the first things I got was an original of that first Suicide record. And I'm glad I did because back then it was like $20. Now I don't know what the fuck it would cost. I'm not an expert on that early punk stuff. I have one of their records, which I actually bought when I was on Long Island. It was one I remembered liking when, because I had it when I was in high school or something like that. But I haven't really delved into them either. I haven't listened to any of this shit in a while. I was listening to a lot of Muslim Gauze for a while there, though, too. I was really kind of digging that. I got a little bit tired of it after a while, but, I mean, I spent some time listening to that shit, It's good. It's funny because, again, that's kind of probably more like ambient, more like Soviet France and, Throbbing Gristle. But I don't know. It kind of scratched a similar itch for me. Maybe not exactly the same one, but a similar one. And I never listened to shit like Skinny Puppy before, too. So just that. I mean, some of this really obvious shit, man. Like, who else is really obvious? There's someone else I'm forgetting. Fucking Ministry. I never spent any time with that shit before last year. Yeah, 2018 was it was a really eventful year for me as far as music goes. I got into all sorts of shit that I'd never gotten into before. Here's another Finnish one. How's the early Rammstein? KMFDM, I don't have any. I haven't listened to them also since it was new. I have one Frontline Assembly that I really like a lot. It has like a yellow, like a baby's head on the cover. I don't know the name of it. It's like a reissue on Cleopatra or something that I just kind of grabbed because it was cheap and it was fucking great. Oh shit, let me just see. Unless you know which one it is. No, it's not Caustic Grip. Because I think Marty Worm was talking about that one. There was one that he was like hyping and I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. All right, this is Yuka Gustafsson, Valon Dvorski. It's great. I'm going to go see what Frontline Assembly record it is. So. That shit's all over here. Oh man, I rediscovered Killing Joke too. I kind of forgot about that. Here, it's this one. State of Mind. Can you see that, Eric? Fuck. It's awesome. Yeah, this is cheap too, man. I got this at Cleopatra Records, fucking $15 or something like that. Um, what are my feelings on Naked City? All right, let me look. Yeah, let me just show one more. I feel like I showed this last year, but maybe not. I was kind of stoked to get this on record, man, when I got this. This isn't really industrial, but I was kind of in the same headspace. But this is the tour that I saw Killing Joke on, man, and they were fucking fantastic, man. They're like one of the most intimidating bands I've ever seen on stage. So, that's a great record. It kind of made me happy to have it too, you know. Oh, goddamn. All right, let me flip this bad boy. Because this is sounding great to me right now. I don't know about y'all. All right. Wow. Through Hardwired. Yeah, see, it's funny. When I was getting back into this shit, it's hard to say because, like, a lot of the stuff, I wasn't sure, like, where that line was between the shit that was, like, hard and menacing and the shit that was just, like, you know, dance music, you know? And some of it I just didn't dig. I got a Fetus comp. I don't remember the name of it now. But I just thought it was boring, man. It just fucking didn't do anything for me at all. I listened to it a few times too. I tried to get into it, but I just thought it sucked. Oh, that's funny about Come As You Are in '80s. I'll have to listen to that. I don't see. I don't know Nirvana's so little that I don't even know that song right off. That's hilarious, though. All right, so Jay Morey, as far as Naked City. Okay, the short answer is no. I'm not a Naked City fan. I've seen a reissue of the one where the guy's like face down in the street, which I think is the first one, but I could be wrong. And I've thought about just grabbing a copy and spending a little bit of time with it. But I'm a little bit hit and miss with John Zorn's projects anyway. I have a copy of Locus Solus. It's right in the end, so it's easy to find. Yeah, this one. And depending on the mood I'm in, I either think this is really great or think it's just kind of up itself. Fundamentally, I like it. Okay, it's a good record, but it has to hit me right. The Naked City shit I've gone back and listened to online. Dude, I've asked Spencer a few times about the 5 random records. He's not really interested anymore. So I've got to get Coltrane to help me out with it now. My younger boy, but he's not really ready. He's still a little bit self-conscious about being in a video. So I'm working on it. I mean, I could do it myself. I could set it up with the tripod or something, but it's kind of not the same with like the banter and the interaction, you know? I mean, at least for me, that's a big part of why those are so funny, you know? They're fun to make, you know? But yeah, I've not forgotten about 5 random records. Um, yeah, I always called it 5 random records too. Like there were other people who started doing it too, and they called them random pulls. And like I probably said this before too, but like with random pulls, quote unquote, I always envision like a wall of glory holes. So yeah, mine's 5 random records. Not that there's anything wrong with the glory hole if that's your thing, but yeah, they really are fun. Yeah, okay. So Naked City sounds gimmicky. That's kind of how I feel about John Zorn, man. Like, see, Painkiller. I have 2 Painkiller records. They were the only 2 for a while, but the Guts of a Virgin and Buried Secrets I have over there. And I don't know. Okay, I haven't played them in a while yet, but last time I put them on, I felt like they were just sounding gimmicky too. You know what I mean? It's like on the one hand, it was kind of cool, but on the other hand, it's kind of gimmicky. You know. So hey, Nasty, good to see you, dude. Um, so yeah, I really have mixed feelings. But you know which one I'm really unequivocal about? I raved about this one last time. Fuck, Autumn was on. I think she went out and bought a copy of the fucking thing too. But there's one he made in the early '80s called Yankees with Derek Bailey and someone else. I want to say Han Bennick, but I don't know if that's right. That record was fantastic. So the Axiom record stuff, like who are we talking about here? That rings a bell, but I can't place it. Oh, okay. I was thinking of Praxis. That's the only one I know, though. What else is there? I don't even fucking know. I have a Praxis record, which I don't know. Last time I played it, which was a while ago, I think I came away with wanting to give it about a 6 out of 10. Okay, Zillatron, I've never even heard of. It doesn't ring a bell. It's interesting. All right, well, keep an eye out. Man, I feel like I should pull out some metal for Nasty Metal. Because he keeps popping into these things. I'm just fucking showing jazz. You want to see some metal, dude? Oh, was it that recent one where they do like funkadelic covers or something like that? It's like it was like a double CD with like a real sort of funkadelic art. The Zillatron. You want to see the Pooh Bah record? That's funny. All right, what do you want to see? I'll pull out the Pooh Bah record. I think I actually might know what the Zillatron is, but I could be wrong because it doesn't seem like it would be Praxis label mates, but who I'm thinking of. But maybe I'm just wrong, I really don't know anything about that shit. I know this much. All right, let me see if I can show another jazz record. Okay, here's another jazz record. I've seen a lot of people hyping this one. It's Clifford Jordan, Glass Bead Games. I think it's kind of overrated. It's nice. It's good. But I kind of think it's overrated. Like, people act like that's, oh my God, that's like one of the fucking greatest records ever. And I don't really hear it. So. Well, I'm glad to turn you on to Pooh Bah, man, because it's a fucking fantastic record. And, it's one of those bands that someone has to tell you about. You know what the irony is? When I found out about Pooh Bah, there's a friend of mine who heard them. Like, I was kind of curious about it. I think I might have heard the name. But this friend of mine was telling me that he thought they were overrated. And so I went and, like, searched them out. And I was like, fuck, this is fantastic. What the fuck? All right, so you want to see the Pooh Bah record? What else do you want me to pull out? Pick something nasty. What do you want to see, man? You can challenge me here. See what kind of rare-ass records I might have. As long as it's old, I've got a chance. Anything obscure that you might dig. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. You want to play 5 random records right now? Hang on, let me see if I can do this. There's a bunch of shit all over the place here, so this might not work. Bear with me. All right, that's the metal section. And there's a big fucking ottoman here that I've kind of got to move. I have a fucking stuffed Magikarp on it that Coltrane just gave me not long ago. Check this shit out. I don't have the dice. Actually, I do have the dice. Yeah, what else do I have on the ottoman? I have my fucking Wakaliwood videos. I have a Bible. Hey, here's a question I was going to want to put out there. How many Bibles do you have? Oh shit, Meatwad, you're taking off? God damn, man, what the fuck? No, I'm kidding, dude. I took tomorrow off because Spencer's having his wisdom teeth out. So I'd be wrapping it up at 1 in the morning on a fucking Sunday if I weren't gonna sleep in anyway. So yeah, it should be fun because he's gonna be all like fucked up and shit. You know. Right. All right, this is gonna look like this is gonna be terrible video later on. Fucking watching like on the thing, but all right, cool, awesome. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Oh yeah, I said magic card. Hang out, check the shit out. See that fucker? This guy's actually pretty awesome. There you go, Joel. Yeah, I got a couple others here too. It's a big ottoman. This is kind of my personal favorite. Ditto. I got this guy too. Fucking Psyduck. So, yeah, there are more. It's funny. I'm in my 40s now. Like, stuffed animals more than my kids. Like, they both, they kind of liked them when they were kids, but they lost interest long before I did. Okay, so I have a new cube up here because I needed more room in the jazz. That's actually my Coltrane records and my Jazz Lisa records, which is like a Finnish radio show where Svart put out like 18 of them or something like that. So, yeah, this is gonna be uploaded, man. The last one I was all like depressed and shit. It was bad. This is gonna stay unless it goes to shit somehow. All right, so let's play 5 random records. But here's what's gonna happen: is Nasty Metal still on? Because I want you to pick a fucking number. Because we're kind of pulling out the metal for you, dude. What time is it there? Fucking 10, quarter after 10. All right, so check it out. The metal is all the way over here now, anyway. So you probably can't see, but that's 16. Is that right? Yeah, it's 20 actually. So it's perfect for a 20-sided die. We just won't get any comps. Okay, so pick a number between 1 and 21. Let's see if we can do that. Let me grab a drink real quick. All right, what's the number? The other bozos, you can advise him, but Nasty gets to pick. 5. All right. Let's do this. Demon Flight. This is kind of a good pick. It's a better pick than it is a record, really. But this is I'm sure you know this, dude. This is one of the really early Metal Blade records. It's like the 3rd or 5th one or something. Yeah, there it is. MBR. Oh shit, I'm stumbling. MBR 1003. And I actually bought this at a shop in LA. It's just an EP. Has Dead of Night, which is the same as on. It says new version, but it sounds the same to me as it does on the first Metal Massacre record. And then Search and Destroy is a little bit more rockin', and overall it's just kind of a weird record. I mean, it's definitely metal in spirit, but it kind of has a weird vibe. It's like a little bit wussy, but kind of not too. I think it's more prog than actual wuss, but they're not prog the way like Warlord is. In any case, it's really It's like an American new wave of British heavy metal band, I think, in that it's not focused, it's not really completely clear on its identity. It's finding its way, and it's doing it just because it's doing something really legit new, you know. And the other thing is, it's records like this that kind of made me realize how, in the early days, Metal Blade was really like a local record label, you know. So, yeah, it's kind of funny, you know. It's like by the time I heard about him, which was not much later, really, a few years later, it's like, oh, Metal Blade, that's like the seal of quality. But back in the early days, it was just a couple guys, you know. You could, and in California, you're better off. In Southern California, you're even better off. I saw an original Armored Saint EP here not too long ago, actually, though, and I kind of wanted it because mine isn't in the greatest shape. But I don't really like that record all that much. And it was like, I don't know, maybe $20. I couldn't justify it. I think I saw it in North Carolina, actually. I think that's where I was. All right, what's next, man? Pick another number. 10. All right. I have to count because I can't fucking. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, right here. Let's see what we're doing. Oh, shit, man. Liege Lord. This was a creeper of a record for me, man. Okay, I love this fucking record. All right, but it took me a long time. I bought this record. I think I was in LA when I bought this. Maybe even earlier than that. I've had this record for probably 20 years. Um, and I only really got into it like maybe 3 years ago, and I fucking love it, man. Eric, Demon is like a poppy, hooky band. Their sound is nowhere near what those covers look like on the first couple. Now, I love that band dearly, okay? But if you can't handle the cheese, forget it. You're going to get nowhere with that band. Because they have like some occult shit. They do like a little bit of ooga booga type of shit in there, but nowhere near enough to sustain you between, you know, songs that I don't know. I feel like it'd be going too far if I said they wouldn't be out of place on a Jackson Brown record, but you kind of get the idea. I mean, it's kind of played heavy. The delivery is kind of heavy, but the fucking songs are pop, and the hooks are really kind of obvious. I love it though, man. I swear. So Liege Lord kind of has that epic vibe. Master Control is great, but I love this one, and this is the one that's sort of my gateway. Um, Eddie Money singing occult lyrics. Yeah, that's pretty fair. Kind of proud of this, by the way. It wasn't that long ago that I scored this, the fucking Ironworks pressing of this thing. Same record. But it's kind of cool. So there we go. All right. So are we going to do 11? I saw 11 in there. Oh, Manila Road, The Blessed Curse. Is that good, or should I pick a different one? Because I've talked about Manila Road kind of a lot. I like this record. I think Marty Worm liked this record more than I did. But I liked it. I did feel like this record was a little bit sort of less focused than some of the other records, even some of the later records. I thought the songs were good, and I didn't think it was not cohesive, but it was. I mean, it's two records, and it kind of sounds like two different records. You know what I mean, as far as a double. So it's a good record. There might be like 8 other Manila Road records I'd recommend before that one, but that's just because they did so many good fucking records, you know. So Martial Law. I don't think I have any Martial Law, and if I do, I haven't listened to it lately. Isn't that the one with like the handcuffs on the cover? Take a look here. I don't think I have that though. Martyr, Marquis de Sade. Yeah, no. It has like a blue cover. It's like airbrushed and it has these handcuffs on the cover. Is that the one you're thinking of? Because if so, I actually don't think I've ever heard it. Yeah, that Obsession one, that's what I think of too. I do have that. I think they're good. I don't think they're tremendous Obsession. I think they're a little bit overrated, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I know, so I've seen that around occasionally, but I never bit. Maybe I should have because now I don't see it anymore. But is it worth checking out though? Tell me, and I'm going to put on another record while we're doing it. I'll put on another record for Eric. Yeah, see, Nasty's getting to pick the records, but Eric, I mean, as far as the 5 random records goes, but Eric's been kind of staying in touch with me, and I've been talking about these records, so we're just gonna like let him pick the tunes, or I'll pick the tunes on his behalf, I suppose. So this is what's up next. This Akadea. This is another one that I was showing Eric in a non-YouTube forum. And this record's kind of all over the place. It's not as like awesome as the one we were just listening to, but it's interesting and it's unusual. And it's funny because I got it like 5 years ago, and I kind of just filed it away and forgot about it because I didn't think much of it. And then I busted it out again recently, and I went, "Wow, this is great." All right, give me 1 second. All right. Out of the Abyss and Courts of Chaos. Dude, Courts of Chaos, I played the shit out of when I was way into that stuff. So I'm fighting a headache. That drum sound that people bitch about on Courts of Chaos, I think is awesome, man. I get why people hate it. I mean, it sounds weird. It sounds wrong, but there's something about it that's perfect. I mean, I just dig shit like that. So, yeah, I'll have to listen out of the Abyss a little bit more. I've definitely got nothing bad to say about that record. Yeah, all right. So Nasty says 3, man. So we're gonna go for 3. Candlemass, Nightfall. What do you need me to say about this one? It's a fucking classic. Yeah, man, it's just fucking great. I mean, every song on here is great. What drum sound are you talking about? On Courts of Chaos? As far as Shrapnel and Leviathan? Hey, here's one for Nasty Metal. I could have pulled that one. That's a great record. Oh shit, there's another one. It's kind of an unusual one. You know, what I heard is that they used like a synthesizer drum on that. Or they like sampled it or something like that. But the guy was like, he didn't do anything on there that he couldn't actually play. The whole thing kind of didn't make sense to me, but I don't think it had anything to do with that. Now, Out of the Abyss, I haven't listened to recently enough to talk about the drum sound, but Quartz of Chaos, I read something, because I guess there was some controversy in the band. Like, a couple of the guys thought it was shit, maybe including Mark Shelton, for all I know. But it was like, I don't think it was like synthesized. I think it was like sampled and like played back somehow or something like that. So, yeah. Just weird. Right on, Melvin. Good to hear you, man. Candlemass in high school. I'm in exactly the same boat with you, Melvin. I was aware of them probably not before Tales of Creation, but I remember that record when it came out, and I did not give a shit. I thought the name was dumb too, and so I mean I still think the name's kind of dumb, honestly. But back then that was like a disqualifier, and in retrospect, who knows what I would have been hip to if I hadn't been a moron that way. That Mars Project driver you're talking about, isn't that like a complete piece of shit? And the shrapnel thing, I don't really know. We have like long-standing like beef with. Well, beef isn't really right, but I mean, I think shrapnel is basically a crap label across the board. There are some decent records on shrapnel, but as far as like, I like to think that it's interesting. Okay, maybe I should give that Mars record a chance. I never did. I mean, fucking when their initials are the name of the band, that's kind of three strikes in one. It's like one strike for each initial. So yeah, maybe I'll give it a chance. Yeah. Let's see. What else can Where's Mr. Nasty Metal? Is he on there? Let's see. Yeah, this one's sitting in there. All right. So, how many have we done? 4 or 5? We're gonna do an extra because the Manila Road didn't count. That's funny. Wanky speed metal. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should give it a chance. I have a lot of records I already don't listen to though, so I've been revisiting some shit though. What I just got a copy of not too long ago is I got a copy of Somewhere in Time. And I'm kind of not ready to talk about it yet, but Marty Worm's been hyping that one. That's his favorite Iron Maiden record. And I've hated that one since it came out. I mean, when it came out, it was like a huge disappointment because I've been so into Power Slave and Peace of Mind before that. And I listened to that when I tried to get into it, and it sounded like, in its good moments, it sounded like a pale shadow of Power Slave to me. So, yeah, so I just avoided it. So finally, I found a copy for not very much. I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll give it another chance. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So I'll talk about that when I'm back listening to more metal and like in the right headspace. Then I'll spend a little more time with that one and talk about it. So. I've never listened to any of the Dickinson solo records myself. Someone else can answer that though. Maybe say something intelligent. Something that's where I still have an issue with the dumbness of it. You know what I mean? It's like I was talking before about how I didn't give Candlemass a chance like they should have. But some dude, fucking those Bruce Dickinson records, they came out, Tattooed Millionaire, my ass, dude. And then fucking Balls to Picasso. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. You fucking make a record that looks like that, and the odds of me giving it a chance are really fucking slim. I mean, that's fucking stupid as hell, It's like like it would be pretentious if it were like 3 or 4 clicks smarter. But it's just too dumb to even like cross the threshold of being pretentious. I fucking hate that shit so much, man. Yeah, as far as somewhere in time though, in the soft spot, I mean, I totally get that sort of thing. And Eric, have you listened to that Slough Fake yet? If someone asks you thumbs up or thumbs down, and that's it, because I'm going to listen to it soon myself, I'm assuming. I was going to snooze on it too. All right, meanwhile, Nasty, we need to pick one more record. Actually, how many did we pick? 5, 10, 11 didn't count. All right, we're going to pick 2 more. All right, first impressions. Yeah, that band's consistent, man. It's funny. I almost feel like they're the heirs to Manila Road in a way, you know? Because Manila Road just had a way of making one great record after another, you know? And then they go take a break for a few years, and they come back and make another fucking great record. Okay, 15. So, that's this one right here. That's considerate because I don't have to get up. Oh shit, this is a good one. Saber, Keepers of the Sword. This is like some German or some Americans who are like stationed in Germany. I didn't listen to 2 in the interim, but since Hard World, or that's like my most recent one. So this record is a little bit sort of Van Halen-ish, but it doesn't have the production values. And I like it because of that. This is a really fun record. You know what's funny? I actually got this record right after I get really sick around like 2006. Like I spent 2 weeks in the hospital. I probably talked about this on shit before, but so when I realized I should quit smoking probably, and it only took me about another 18 years to actually quit smoking. But that's another story. Anyway, I was like really sick, like knocking on death's door sick. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks and shit. And there were 2 records I got right about then. I don't remember if I got them before or after I was discharged or whatever. But one of them was the Mistreated record, Primera Intervención. And the other one is this one. So I just associate it with that, with like getting out of the hospital, which is kind of funny, you know, but not like with sickness, but like being at home and like listening on this couch and being so like happy to be listening to my records and shit. So, yeah, so there's really kind of a special place in my heart for this record. So, yeah, Blonde and 16. Keepers of the Sword is probably the most like legit, like, you know, tough song on here, but this is a really fun record, man. I like it a lot. So there we go. Alright, where was this now? Let's put it back. Yeah, Saber's awesome. Yeah, Slough Fake Live is great too. So, alright, one more record we'll pick. And then I might hang it up because I think I'm going to watch a little TV before I go to bed too. At 1:30. Maybe 2 by the time I'm actually done talking. This is fun though. Thanks y'all for joining me. 19. Now here's the cheat. My death metal starts over here. So I might get into the death metal, and if so, I won't be able to speak as intelligently. Oh, you know something? I counted wrong though. I was counting 20. It's 24. Yeah, it'd be nice if I knew what 16 plus 8 is, right? Anyway, 19's good. I'm trying to pick the ones close to the front because I never seem to grab those. All right, this one's kind of a turd. This is The Uninvited, System Wreck. First red flag is that it has the at the beginning like that. But I've pulled this out once every 5 years or so and see if it sounds better. And you know, it just... Okay, The Uninvited is a punk name, so that's already kind of a problem, right? But these guys are metal in spirit. The record is just not very good, man. It's a lot of songs on here, kind of too many. I mean, look at all that, you know? It's just not that great. Like, if I want to listen to a crappy record, oh wow, man, I forgot about this one here. God damn, I forgot about it. Okay, oh shit, I just thought of one. Oh yeah, fucking that Wages of Sin record. That's a piece of shit, but it's great. Where the fuck is it? Hang on. Alright, it's up here, I guess. Alright, here we go. Here, if you want to listen to a shitty record that's good, right here. This is a good one. Fucking Wages of Sin. I think I played this once. Was it supposed to be Eyes or a Bra? You know, something I'm going to have to look. Because if it was a bra, I never noticed before, but I can't say it's not. Because it's about the caliber of band. Okay, I think it's just supposed to be Eyes. If it were really close, I would have pulled it back out, but I do not have any post-destruction schmear project. Headhunter. Yeah, I don't even recognize the name, man. Shit. Hey, you want to see another one that's kind of a piece of crap that's great? Where is it? Oh, here it is. See, of course, these are kind of rare, so I kind of feel like a dick even recommending them. But you can listen to them online if you can't find them. Fucking Joe Step, Sacrifice. Great shit. And totally amateurish. Look on the back, he's dead. Come on, man. How can you argue with that shit? I wonder if the rip of that Saber LP came from Vibrations of Doom, because all those recordings sounded muddy to me. Those rips. It was great. It was a great place to sample something like before YouTube, you know. And they had like the most obscure shit there. I mean, I sampled shit there that, goddamn. But the sound was always muddy. I wonder if someone just pulled it off that and stuck it on YouTube. But I'm just completely hypothesizing. The sound on that record is pretty crisp, though. It's not like oh, that's just how the record sounds. It's like, no, that record sounds just fine. I remember I myself ripped for some forum or something like that. I ripped a copy of the Triple Forte record, and like there was something where it wasn't grounded right. So it had a little buzz through it, but I couldn't hear it like in my living room. It just came through on the recording. I was like, well, fuck, man, how am I supposed to troubleshoot this, you know? So I was kind of bummed because I was trying to do a solid for some people who, like, you know, didn't have that record, which is pretty hard to find. That one, there was one other one. I don't remember what the other one was, though. Overlord SR. That's Overlord from New Jersey, isn't it? Didn't they like add the SR or something like that? I don't know. I'll pull up my Overlord records. That's center. Where's the O? That's the Crew. Let's see. Okay, here are my Overlord records. So there are these guys who are from Eric's neck of the woods. I think they're from Seattle, but I could be wrong. Sad City Records, yeah, Seattle, Washington, 1982. I don't think this record's particularly good, honestly. Then there is the Canadian Overlord. These guys are from somewhere in Ontario, probably out in the country. Yeah, two guys in the band. This should be black metal, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of awesome. They recorded in 2 days. It doesn't say where they're from, though. Oh, well. First song is called X-Rated, man. You've got to love that. What the fuck does that even mean, you know? Yeah, I don't like Mace. You know, I don't like Mace or Heir Apparent either. In fact, I made that video a long time ago where I, like, cracked that Mace record that I had and played it. And I ended up selling it to someone. Yeah, and then there's this Overlord with an E from New Jersey. This one's great. I don't think it's the greatest thing of all time, but it's a very enjoyable record. And I actually haven't played it forever. But the first fucking song is called Snow Giant, man. How the fuck are you going to argue a Snow Giant? Look at these motherfuckers. Come on, dude. Yeah, I think this is the one, too. I don't know what's up with the SR. I think these guys, like, reformed and did some other shit, but, I don't know. I mean, Overlord is kind of an obvious name. I mean, clearly, because I have 3, right? But, this one's probably the most rare. But this one's probably the best. Yeah, none of them are common, though, honestly. Yeah, so many Overlords. All right, any other requests? Because otherwise I think I'm going to hang it up. Which is the second Ostrogoth? Full Moon's Eyes? No, not Full Moon's Eyes. That's the first one. Ecstasy and Danger? Yeah. Hang on. I think I just have those 2, though. Yeah, there it is. All right, this is it for me in Ostrogoth. That one and this one. There we go. Fuck, come on. Having trouble with this shit with you. There we go. Yeah. Beware of the full moon. Yeah, Full Moon's Eyes is the greatest. Ecstasy and Danger is good too. It's more of a creeper for me. And I still don't think it's as great as Full Moon's Eyes. This one is just fucking tremendous. You know, there was a CD a long time ago, a bootleg, that had this Ostrogoth EP and something else on it. And I wish I could remember what it was because the other thing was great too. It was like that was better than the like those 2 together as a boot. It might have been the first Sword of Ledge EP. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, so let's see what else is in here. Just ordinary shit like Possessed Records, Hallows Eve. Yeah, I don't know that. Gravedigger. Yeah, most of these have stories, man. Yeah, the sortilege. I found that at my local shop in LA for like $5. The little place around the corner from me. Now this was like early 2000s. I lived there from 2002 to 2004. But there's a little place like right around the corner from me. No shit. Like when Spencer was a baby, I would bring him there in the sling. Um, and they didn't know anything about metal, and they knew it too. Is the funny thing, you know? They were more into like the jazz and the classical shit, which I wasn't even into at the time. I hadn't gotten back into jazz yet, right? So I didn't even look at their jazz shit. But I found all sorts of shit though. I found a copy of the first Thin Lizzy record there, an originally U.S. press, an original of the first T-Rex. But the metal was just like the most amazing shit. That's where I found that original first Sortilege. I found dude, one time they got like 3 or 4 copies of the first of the Oz full length. It's not the first one, Fire in the Brain. They got like 3 sealed copies of it, and I already had one, but they were like $5 each. So I just bought them all and like gave them away to people to proselytize. Like I kept one of them for myself as an upgrade, but the other ones I was just like, here, this is one of the greatest records ever. You need this, you know, shit like that. So I wish I kept them now because I could sell them to you bozos for like money, but fucking mosquito, goddamn it, I missed him. All right. All right. Oh shit! Here's one more that I just got kind of recently. Is that what I think it is? Yeah. This fucking Mortal Sin. This is good. Yeah. See, if I still had one, I'd send it to you, Eric. I only have one now. This record's great though. Mayhemic Destruction by Mortal Sin. Speaking of Oz records, haha, you get it because they're Australian. It's not as good as Fire in the Brain though. All right. I think I'm gonna hang it up. It's been what? Just shy of an hour and a half. It's been a lot of fun though, man. I kind of needed it. The Vertigo press. What's on the cover of that one? Does it have like the demon, like with the wings, like spread out? Because that's a really cool cover too, man. It's not very often that a record has 2 different great covers. You know, usually when they change it, they turn it to shit. Like the 3rd cover of A Night on Brocken. Yeah, because the first 2 covers were both fantastic on that Fate's Warning. I hope we can all agree on that. Oh no shit! I didn't know about that. Then again, I don't know who the artist is, but that's cool factoid. Simon Bisley. Okay. Um. Well, all right. Yeah, I think we're done. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. I needed this more than I realized. It feels really good. So, thanks. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, man, I'll try not to like disappear forever again. So, appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone.